Hi everyone and welcome. This is yet another pick a card reading, and for today we have a really special subject, the meeting of Jupiter and Neptune on the 12th of April 2022. This is a really powerful and special astrological dance, firsthand because it's so rare. It only happens 166 years, and on the other hand, this is where, regardless of how else it may play out in the world or in our personal lives. For example, in the world it can be like a huge flooding, like a huge tsunami, that is a more physical expression or a natural expression, let's say. But for everyone, this is also a really powerful and strong psychological influence, because Neptune in itself, it is a psychological energy. It is at the borderline of that which is physical and exists in physical reality, and the divine, so the ethereal, that which can only exist in the realm of thought, of dream, of fantasy. It may not be as real without the human, without the subjective element. And when it gets to the subjective element, that is where Jupiter comes into play, because Jupiter is all about truth, and truth is always subjective. And both of these planets are the two ruling planets of Pisces, Jupiter as the classic ruler and Neptune as the modern ruler. So this is gonna be really strong and heavy. Of course, I am hoping for me and everyone who listens to this video that we get the higher end of it, where it's magic, it is beauty, it is fantasy, it is faith and hope fulfilled. But we cannot ignore the other expression of it, where it can simply drown us in sorrow, it can drown us in illusion, in lies, in fear, especially if that which we fear exists more on the outside. For example, war and poverty and, anything that basically can be an imminent danger, especially right now. Yet still, Jupiter requires us to focus on that which is important to us, on that which we believe in. So we kind of have to choose one side, and hence the dual nature of the sign of Pisces. So basically this is the theme of this pick a card reading. So now I invite you to look at these four piles of cards, these four decks of cards basically, and choose a symbol which appeals more to your intuitive senses. Here we have a dragon, here we have a mystic palm, a pentacle, and finally some Egyptian hieroglyphs. So I'm going to allow you a few seconds to just look at the cards and choose one, and then we'll get to the interpretations. Now, if you need more time to choose, of course, you can just pause the video and, spark up your intuition like that. But now, let's get to the reading for the pile who has chosen the dragon. So this deck of tarot cards. So the dragon is here. So basically, let's ask the universe, let's ask the spirit guides, let's ask Mercury and Aries, the head, of how this Neptune and Jupiter conjunction might influence your lives in any way, shape or form. So let us see. So this is the Three of Pentacles reversed, and this already speaks about routines, it speaks about work. For some people it can actually mean specialization, their job, their everyday source of income. But let's see where the universe is guiding us with this Three of Pentacles. So we have the Three of Swords, and then we have the King of Swords reversed. So let us choose another card to see the reason behind it, to see the picture being completed. Oops, it fell down just a second, please. So this was the Queen of Pentacles in upright position. And of course, as we get along, we'll add more clarifiers. So what I'm picking up from here is that many of you guys had a huge Three of Swords moment, heartbreak, disillusioning, very strong disappointment, or basically a heart-shattering moment, but regarding to a skill, a talent, something more Capricornian, something more, how should I say, earthly of nature. Even if it's like a psychological skill, for example, like a deep sense of empathy, or if it's something artistic in nature, well, it still requires a Capricornian expression, because it does need invested energy, invested time, invested resources. So basically this did require you to practice this talent of yours, or to invest in this talent of yours significantly. For each and every person, of course, this can represent, for some people it is more time, for others more money, for others simply the practice over and over again. Yet still, the Three of Coins is reversed because you're way stronger, you're way bigger, you're way more talented, as in you're already on a totally whole other level than you're practicing. So for some people, this can be their job, their careers. For other people, this is that much more significant because it is also their life path. For some people, this Three of Coins can represent simply their stability in everyday life. So basically the life that they're living, materially speaking. So that which is under their control, that which represents their material shell, not just the body, of course the body, but everything that has to keep the body running, like the home, the roof over the head, and so very many other things. So there is a disappointment here, but this is like a big soul-shattering heartache which truly belittles you. And I do believe that this is not really your fault directly. This is more like you really tried, but you were really idealistic. And basically your journey to get where you are now, as in, let's be honest, you are a master of this. So your talents are developed beyond of what your life right now allows you to practice, if you get what I mean. You're way better than you could possibly, you're like a grandmaster and still like are in the position of an apprentice, yet you're already like a grandmaster. You should be, you know, like put on a pedestal and as an example of mastery, and an example of intuition and instinct along with the talent. You're so very creative, and this heartache somehow is putting a stop to your breakthrough moment. This heartache is blocking that fusion moment when basically you just quantum leap in a kind of state of life where everything is, you know, this Three of Coins should be in upright position. This is what you desire. And that is very simple, where life is just safe, stable, it makes sense. You have at least 50% of control, because the other 50% of course is the universe. So this is basically what you desire, but this is more to the Queen of Coins when we get to her, when we get to this interpretation, more about this. Because this King of Swords is also very significant, because it tells us that the big reason for this heartache is that you're fully aware that you are a really, really strong, innate, very, very creative and talented intellectual, the mind sphere. This is where you don't just have a beautiful mind, but also a sharp mind, a mind that can connect to others, a mind that can perceive others. You're a really good communicator and basically intellectually creative. May that be writing, may that be sharing something on the internet, may that be art combined with something. You're really, really an ingenious and really, how should I even say it, like a Uranian, because Uranus is the ruling planet of everything that has to do with the higher intellect, a really Uranian person, and you have a very strong sense and special skill to just tap into the future. You have this innate power to anticipate the future, and you're simply amazing, and you kind of know your potential because you solved problems with it. There are so very many times that you survived or solved an impossible situation, a problem, or did a miracle for someone else in someone else's life, professionally or in other way, with your intellectual ingeniousness, creativity, and adaptability. The Uranian spirit, basically. So what is this Neptune and Jupiter, of course, trying to do for you? Well, right now, possibly when you're listening to this reading, it blocked you. You're blocked. Your creative centers are blocked for no real reason. And you're really starting to panic because you don't know what's going on. But this is where it wants to shatter in the pattern. Your life has changed from this heartache, because this is a continuous old wound, if you know what I mean. This wound, yes, it is old, but it was always fed by reconfirmation, by living life. You kind of attracted the same unappreciation of your talents, the same pattern in your life over and over again. So this was fed. So this is strong. It's still alive. So basically, in order for the wound to basically forcefully heal, the wound to be categorized, your creative centers are stopped as well. This is like a reset moment for you, and what awaits you is this Queen of Pentacles. Prosperity, creativity, basically being able to live as a creator, even in a very down-to-earth way. As a creator, what does that mean? An artist who can make a living out of their art, a writer, whatever it is that this Three of Coins means for you personally. Well, that will support you. That will be your nurture, because ultimately that is the Queen of Coins. And this is what the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction is doing for you. And basically, this is your karma. So the conjunction itself might not really have a lot to do with this directly. The conjunction is just awakening you to this reality that this wound is closed already. It is closed because we no longer live in the same world when you received this wound. We are no longer in the old paradigm, so things change radically, including for you. And this is somehow, this Jupiter and Neptune conjunction almost acts like an allure, like a promise that there is still healing, that you haven't seen the last of your own greatness, that, you know, it's not over until the big lady sings. So it's almost like the divine trying to tell you that this is what awaits you. It's almost like a prophecy. It's almost like a preparation. This is the divine gift for you because you've already done this karmically. So this is what the cards have to say for you. Thank you so much for